What's up, Totem Pole Nation? Welcome back to Lambo and Matt's World of Sports. This episode, we're diving into who the next coach of the Falcons will be. Obviously, Arthur from Tennessee didn't work out over there. Very mediocre seasons with, some mediocre quarterbacks. So who's to say how much of his fault it really is? I think it's a lot. Can't be not giving your ball to Bijan, Drake London, Kyle Pitts. So we will get into if we think Bill, Jim Harbaugh, or other guys will best fit into this system. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe as always. TotemPoleNation.com is scrolling in the ticker if you want some gear to support the boys. Shout out to Sideline Sports Network. Let's go.
Well, the Atlanta Falcons have been through hella struggle. The last time they were, good before Dan Quinn was when they had Mike Smith as the head coach back from 2008 to 2014. They made a couple playoff appearances. They made an NFC Championship game. That's when they had a young, primetime Matt Ryan. I think Matt Ryan was a good quarterback for them. But they just went through coaching change. They went from Mike Smith to defensive coordinator Dan Quinn, who led to the Legion of Boom, who made it to the Super Bowl, but then guess what happened? They lost to the Patriots. And then when they lost to the Patriots, they had not been the same team since then. Yeah, I know nothing's wrong with the Chiefs, but that's why we just beat the Buffalo Bills.
If you want to check out that episode, we just did that.
Let's calm down, buddy, because you still got to put a Baltimore Ravens. Let's calm down a little bit. We'll talk about that later this week anyway. But when it comes to the Atlanta Falcons, from 2018 to 2014, I think they appeared in one NFC Championship game. Obviously, that year they lost to the 49ers and Colin Kaepernick that year. It was 28-24. I know I'm going back, but to you Falcons fans, you have to really understand what you – no, it's all good, Braxton. It's all good. I understand your passion as a Chiefs fan. I understand. But, we getting tired of the Chiefs getting there. We want to see somebody else. But we'll discuss that for later. When it comes to Atlanta Falcons, Dan Quinn got hired in 2015 after they fired Mike Smith in 2014. Obviously, they were on Hard Knocks. I know all the history of Atlanta Falcons, so does he. 2015 to 2019, 2020, Dan Quinn was the head coach. Dan Quinn's the defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys. We're not sure if he's going to be there next season. We'll figure that out. He took it to the Super Bowl in his second season with Matt Ryan, with Kyle Shanahan, the offensive coordinator, who is now the head coach of the 49ers, who is now taking the 49ers to the Super Bowl, 4 or 5 straight seasons, obviously, and they blew the lead to the Patriots. That's when the Atlanta Falcons were completely done and demolished. Now, 2017, they made the playoffs. 2018, they did something, a little bit in the playoffs, but they lost. But then when they went 0-5 in 2020, Dan Quinn's job was done. I didn't like the hire that Arthur Blank did. Arthur Smith out of Tennessee. Now, I didn't know who the hell Arthur Smith was. This is when Mike Vrabel and the Titans were so great offensively. I didn't think Arthur Smith was the guy. Arthur Smith just, quarterback situation. Didn't know who to start. Got rid of Matt Ryan. I guess they traded him to the Colts, obviously.
Where he sucked.
Yes. Phillip Rivers was better, though.
Yeah. Matt Ryan was awful with the Colts.
He was awful with the Colts. Awful. But it's just with Arthur Smith, this is not a Tannehill offense he was trying to run in Tennessee. His smart and expertise. Now, I got to roast him. Your dad works for fucking FedEx. I got to roast you on that one. I don't even know if you're
owns
FedEx. Excuse me, owns FedEx. All right,
created it.
I don't even know if you're a football coach. Your dad owns FedEx. I thought you'd be a logistics guy. You look like a logistics guy. But you couldn't figure out the quarterback situation. All right? I mean, what? Desmond Ridder? What quarterback did they have before they drafted Desmond Ridder? Did they have somebody else?
Well, they brought in Mariota.
Mariota from Tennessee. Well, he was in Tennessee, then went to the Raiders, then went to the Falcons, and then went kind of with the Eagles now.
He's at the Eagles, yeah.
Eagles. So you went from Mariota. Mariota wasn't good enough. And then you went from Desmond.
So Mariota, I get starting Desmond over him because he's younger. You want to see what you have. But they're, like, the same in my eyes.
Yeah.
Like, they are just the most average, like,
average offense with all those weapons.
Right, exactly. Like that's the thing. It's like they have they need all the help in the world to lead an average offense. Where I think Mariota coming in for that year with Arthur was the decision because they had success in Tennessee before Mariota seemingly like forgot how to play football, but they had success in the past. And, even watching like the QB thing on Netflix or listening to Arthur when he went on, the Pat McAfee show during the season, and he would talk about Marcus and like, I like they were one play away from like per game from going like what they finished 9-8.
Yeah, they were about a couple plays away from like making the playoffs every game.
Dude, every game. It was every single game. They were right there, and they made that choice to just ditch him and go to Ritter to see what they had. And I don't know if like I completely agreed with it, but if they're going to be the same average dude, why not play the younger one?
It's not.
And then they brought in Heineke, who did the same shit as well.
See, that's the problem, the quarterback situation. Now, who do I think will be the next head coach of Atlanta Falcons? Now, Bill Belichick just went on a second interview with the Falcons. Jim Harbaugh is on a second interview with the Falcons. Also, with the second interview with the Chargers. So it's obvious. It's not that I don't think Bill Belichick is the right fit. The question is for success long term. How long is Bill Belichick going to coach? Now, if he's with the Patriots, he's going to coach until he wanted to retire. But he's not there. The question for Bill Belichick, and I'm not questioning his age. He's a great coach. Him and Nick Saban are the same age. 72 years of age. Surprisingly, Nick Saban retired. The reason why I'm comparing that is because nobody expected Nick Saban just to retire. With Bill Belichick, he still wants to coach. But if you're Arthur Blank, long term, I think the Falcons are in the process. I'm not sure if they already have a new stadium or if they're renovating to get a whole completely new stadium unless they already sort of did that.
But I think they already have a new one. It's like
they already have one.
Yeah, it's like a couple years old.
Okay. So, long-term quarterback situation. Bill Belichick failed at finding a quarterback in New England. Now, I'm going to be a Patriots fan and be damn honest. Failed to find a quarterback. And also the question is, will Arthur Blank give up or will Arthur Blank give Belichick that ownership that he had with the Patriots? That's going to be a tricky one because Belichick wants that ownership. Now, I understand Belichick wanted to let down GM duties in New England. I don't know how half that story was true, not true. I'm not in the building. I'm just a Patriots fan. But, see, when it comes to this, I think Jim Harbaugh probably maybe be the best fit if it was between those two. One, Jim Harbaugh can find you a quarterback. Jim Harbaugh can revamp an offense. I'm not saying Bill Belichick can't, but history shows after Tom Brady left that you can't find a better quarterback than, not better, but just like somebody that can play consistently after Tom Brady. The Cam Newton experience was damn awful.
Well, Belichick wanted to keep Jimmy.
Well, Jimmy injury-prone quarterback.
Well, right.
He's an injury-prone quarterback.
If we think about that era of when Jimmy went to San Fran,
he was good. He was.
Yeah.
But he's an injury-prone quarterback. Tom Brady was barely injured. He was injured twice. Maybe ACL and maybe a couple shoulder injuries, but he was barely injured. So he ended up trading him, and Jimmy G ended up being an injury-prone quarterback. I think Jim Harbaugh is probably the best fit. What he done with college. Also, if a scenario fits out well, depending on what spot the Atlanta Falcons have in the draft, finish at 7-10, is there a possibility that he could get his college quarterback with the Atlanta Falcons in J.J. McCarthy, if that all fits well? All they need is a quarterback. He can revamp a defense. I mean, look what the defense they had in Michigan. They can revamp the defense despite them. You think if they cheated or not cheated. Jim Harbaugh knows how to revamp a program over in 48 hours. He did it with the San Francisco 49ers. Obviously, took a no-name dude in Colin Kaepernick out of Nevada to a Super Bowl, NFC Championship game. I think Jim Harbaugh probably will be the best fit, but long-term, because, he's younger. He's like 50 years old,
I think he's like long-term. 60.
62 maybe. But Belichick's like 73.
Yeah.
That's. I don't know if Belichick will be coaching until he's 80. But
Right.
the best fit I would take is Jim Harbaugh.
Between these two, I agree. But you know who I really think the best fit is Mike Vrabel. I think Mike Vrabel
you might have this right.
Atlanta. I think Mike Vrabel in Atlanta would be perfect, dude, because that defense is already like a piece or two away from being consistently good, I think. They've got DBs that are nice, and, the linebackers could use another step in the right direction. But, I mean, they're picking at 8 in the draft. We'll have to see if they make any moves, but who knows? They don't really have much that they could move. I mean, damn, I just think Vrabel down there, if he can get the right OC to manage that offense, which...
What if Josh McDaniels becomes the OC for the Falcons?
No. Keep him the fuck away from any young teams I have. Dude, everybody hates him, bro. Every team that he goes to that's not the Patriots.
I said OC. I didn't say head coach.
I know. But there's just some. If I'm the one making that decision, hell no. He's keep him away from my organization. Now, Bill, I don't know. He's the greatest football mind of all time, right? Like GM and head coach, 6 Super Bowls. He's that guy. Okay. So I'm not going to question his football mind when it comes to how he would deal with all the offensive talent without a quarterback down there. But to your point, he's been missing. He's been batting at a low percentage.
He missed DK Metcalf, Justin Jefferson for fucking N'Keal Harry.
Yeah.
He missed badly.
He's been missing a lot recently. So, I agree with you that it's probably not, the best thing long-term for the Falcons because, A, we don't know if who's going to be picked is going to be an immediate game changer. B, he's, 14 wins away from the most wins of all time over Don Shula. Yes. So what's that? 2 seasons? Because
2 seasons max.
Yeah. And that's what he's coaching for. What else? Yeah,
if he already passed it, he probably just retired like Nick.
That's
Saban.
what I mean. He would have
away.
just retired if he already had that record. He's going for that. I think he's already the GOAT in most people, if not all people's eyes when it comes to coaching. But I think getting that is just something that he can go to sleep happy, if that's even possible for, a head football coach, a guy like Bill Belichick. But I think, the Falcons are not going to be the place to do it.
Who do you think? So the Falcons had you said the 8th pick, right? They got the 8th pick. What do they need besides a quarterback? Do they need a tight end? Do they need defensive guys?
No, they're great at tight end. I mean, Kyle Pitts and Jonnu Smith were Jonnu Smith played great this year, and that's why everyone was so shocked. How is this tight end getting all of these opportunities and getting open so much? And Kyle Pitts, the number 4 pick in the draft or whatever he was, how is he not? And then Drake London, same thing. He'd have a good game and then 2 bad games, a good game, 2 bad games. Bijan was not involved enough, So they're good, though, obviously, in those skill positions. You wouldn't want to use a first round on a wide receiver, I don't think, when you have other
things. You don't have really a quarterback. If Belichick
but does a quarterback that they'd want fall to 8?
Ooh, they got Caleb Williams, they got Drake May, they got J.J. McCarthy, they have Bo Nix.
All right, this is an NFL.com analyst, Bucky Brooks.
Michael Penix go to the draft too.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, all 3 of them are going to be gone before number 8.
Yes.
And then obviously Marvin Harrison Jr., Roma Dunze are wide receivers that if they are available, I think you would have to take them. But then, this guy, Chuck, Is that what I said his name was? Bucky. Sorry.
Bucky,
This guy, Bucky, has the Falcons taking the Bama edge, Dallas Turner.
So upgrade more to the defensive side.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it would hurt to, improve anywhere. I mean, they're good at corner. I don't think that you would use it on a corner. Like I said, if one of those two receivers fall to 8, then yeah, I think you got to take one of them at that spot. But you still don't have a quarterback, so like, how much is it really going to help?
Like, do you really believe in Desmond Ritter? That's the question.
No, I don't think you can. I don't think you can at this point.
Like, how many chances have Atlanta Falcons give Desmond Ritter? That's the question.
Not a lot.
Multiple chances.
Well, yeah, but not. I mean, he's only been a starter for a year. Like, this was his first year as a full-time starter.
Oh.
So, like, and last year, well, I guess at this point it's 2 years ago, but he was behind Mariota until they made him start the last 4 or 5 weeks. So, like, he really hasn't had much time to develop at all. Like, we see Jordan Love, he even started the beginning of this year super shaky, and since
the Packers made the divisional round. Nobody picked Green Bay to make the divisional round.
Exactly. And since week 11, he was balling out. The only quarterback that had better numbers than him in that time frame was Dak Prescott, obviously, until that playoff game. But in that window, those were the top 2 quarterbacks in the league. And what happened with Jordan Love? He got to sit behind a top 3, and I think should be most people's minds of best players to play the quarterback position in Aaron Rodgers for 3 years.
Yes, he did.
That is Alex Smith, who's not even on Rodgers' level, helped.
Nowhere close.
Exactly. But Pat has talked about how watching him helped, and that was just 1 season. So think about 3 seasons underneath Aaron Rodgers. Desmond never got that opportunity. And I'm not saying that he would be as good as Jordan Love. I'm not saying that at all. I just think that, if he's given an opportunity to sit and learn from someone, we might not be seeing such of a bad product on the field.
Well, we'll see who the Atlanta Falcons hire within the next few days or the next few weeks. Like I said, there has not been any coaching hires yet because they're waiting for some assistants to interview, and they maybe already have the guy. Maybe they just wait till after Super Bowl. We'll figure it out. We'll let you know. But this is Lambo and Matt's World of Sports. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Total Pro Nation.